In this video, we're going to be discussing symmetry, um, and really specifically just kind of looking at the basics of symmetry. And we're going to use this rectangle here to help us. Now, a figure can only have two types of symmetries, if it has any. It's either going to have rotational symmetry or reflective symmetry. So let's look at reflective symmetry real quick. I'm going to get a line in here. And notice that I am putting this line through the center of our graph. And I'm going to put a second line this way. Here's the reason that we have done this. If we then reflect across either of these lines, that shape, it doesn't move. In fact, all we're seeing is that it's getting darker because we are reflecting it on top of itself. And this works for both of these lines. So, again, symmetric. So this actually allows us to define symmetric. And symmetric can be defined as an object is symmetric when a transformation can cause it to land on itself, or causes the pre-image and the image to align. You can see that I moved this line over a little bit, and the reason for that is even in a shape that has symmetries, those symmetries are tied to specific areas. You can see that this one's not symmetric as we go through. Now, there are some interesting symmetries that some shapes have and other shapes do not have. So what I'm doing here is I'm aligning on the diagonal, which I guess the easy way would be just to do this. So I'm now aligned on the diagonal. Is this shape symmetric across that line? Well, reflection, choose my line, choose my shape, apply. And we can see that it's not symmetric. It changes the orientation. But there are certain shapes that will have that symmetry as well, which we will talk about momentarily. I'm just going to get this back to where it was as my rectangle, and then we will go on from there. So let's talk about rotational symmetry. Rotational symmetry is exactly what it sounds like. We're going to be symmetric because of a rotation. So choosing my point, and then I need to choose my angle. And if I go 180 degrees on this rectangle, we see that it lands on itself. It is symmetric with regard to 180 degrees. It is also symmetric with regard to 360 because that just takes it back to where it started. This shape is not symmetric to a 90-degree rotation, which we can clearly see. Okay, but if the shape is what is known in geometry as regular, all of a sudden we get a whole lot of new things. And here we have a square, a fairly standard shape. A square is a regular quadrilateral. And the thing about the regular quadrilateral is it has 4 lines of symmetry as far as reflection is concerned. I can reflect around this line, lands on itself. I can reflect around this line, lands on itself. And we can do this with all those lines. Additionally, to the 4 different reflections, reflecting over 1, 2, 3, or 4 lines, additional to that, we also have 4 rotations of 90 degrees. So a regular shape is very symmetric, whereas just a polygon may be symmetric, it may not be. In fact, if I just extend this like that, and let's say this one like this, now I have a shape that has really only one symmetry, and that is a rotation around the center point of 360 degrees, i.e. the identity. Anyway, this is just a quick overview of symmetry. Stay safe, and I will see you in the next video.